Pasta night just got an upgrade. Today on Poor Choices, we're making Rigatoni Alla Vodka, a dish that's as smooth as your last drunk text and as spicy as the reply you didn't expect. This is date night fuel, breakup recovery, and I deserve something fancy because I survived today, all rolled into one. And the sauce isn't just creamy, it's luxurious. And the vodka, yeah, it's in the sauce, but if you play your cards right, it also might be in your mouth. This recipe and more here at the Poor Choices Kitchen YouTube channel. Starting out, we're gonna do a dry brine for our uncured diced pancetta. Now, if you're able to get your hands on some cured pancetta, and typically it'll say on the packaging which type it is, you can totally skip this step. But if you're like me and your grocery store really only carries the uncured type, we definitely want to do this dry brine. Otherwise, when you cook this pancetta, it's not gonna taste like Italian bacon, it's gonna taste like eating Legos. So we're gonna place our uncured diced pancetta in a bowl and sprinkle it with a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. Toss the coat evenly and let it sit in the refrigerator for about 15 to 20 minutes. And this mimics the curing process, enhancing flavor and giving it a richer taste. We can also get to boiling our pasta water and make sure you salt that thing. We want it to taste like the ocean. The water, that is. Although this is your only chance to season the pasta itself, so again, don't hold back. Cook your pasta until just al dente following package instructions, and make sure you reserve 1 cup of pasta water before draining. This starchy water is key for making the sauce cling beautifully to the pasta. And I try to time this out so that the pasta is finishing just as my sauce is. Oh, and definitely don't add any oil to your pasta water. It can coat the pasta and prevent the sauce from sticking properly, just FYI. Now to crisp up our pancetta. In a large skillet or saucepan, cook the dry brine pancetta over medium heat until crispy. And if the pancetta doesn't release enough fat, add a small drizzle of olive oil to prevent sticking. Remove it with a slotted spoon and set aside, leaving that rendered fat in the pan. Next up, we're gonna saute some shallots and aromatics. Start by adding some unsalted butter to the pan with the pancetta fat. Once melted, saute those shallots until soft and translucent, maybe about 4 minutes. Then we're gonna stir in some minced up garlic, red pepper flakes, and diced Calabrian peppers. And listen, I know you might be a little afraid that this dish is super spicy with the red pepper flakes and the Calabrian peppers. So if you're gonna call an audible here and try to cut down on the spice, I would say leave out the red pepper flakes, but please keep in those Calabrian peppers. Calabrian, however you wanna say it, they are packed with so much wonderful flavor. We're gonna cook those for about 1 to 2 minutes as well to release their aromas. Now it's time to deglaze. We're gonna pour in the vodka, scraping the bottom of the pan with whatever utensil we're using, and it's gonna release all those flavorful brown bits. And we're gonna let that simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes to cook off the alcohol and concentrate the flavor. And if you're wondering, can you make this recipe without vodka? Sure. Are you gonna notice the difference? Absolutely. But trust me, all the actual alcohol is just gonna cook off and you're gonna be left with amazing flavor. Now we're going to build our sauce. We're gonna stir in some crushed tomatoes. These are fire roasted, some sun-dried tomatoes, and we're gonna use these instead of tomato paste so we can still get that concentrated tomato flavor. And we're adding even more garlic with roasted garlic paste just because I had this on standby. You don't have to use it. It's totally optional. Then we're just gonna simmer this sauce on low for 10 to 15 minutes, allowing the flavors to meld and deepen. Next up, we're gonna lower the heat even more and stir in the heavy cream and Parmesan cheese. We're gonna taste and adjust seasonings with salt and pepper. Very important that you taste and season appropriately. If the sauce feels too spicy, you can balance with an additional splash of cream. And if you want a smoother sauce, you can use an immersion blender to lightly blend it before adding the cream. And one last thing, this was cream that I had out for about 20 minutes. I didn't put it in super cold from the fridge just because I didn't want it to possibly curdle. And then once we're happy with our pink color and our wonderful taste, we're gonna add that cooked pasta to the sauce, tossing the coat evenly. We're also gonna stir in that crispy pancetta. And if the sauce feels too thick, add a splash of reserved pasta water to reach your desired consistency. And then you just plate and garnish. Divide the pasta into shallow bowls, and you can top these with anything you want, a dollop of burrata cheese or fresh ricotta, maybe some lemon zest or some fresh basils, or even crispy sage leaves. Or you can get really fancy and drizzle it with some truffle oil. And there you have it, my friends. In about 20 minutes or so, you've got a wonderful, luxurious weeknight dinner. Hey everybody, this is Poor Choices Kitchen. We have a Patreon link down in the description. $1 a month is all we ask for to pay for recipes in these here inflated times. And there's also YouTube memberships. That's $2.99 because YouTube likes to take its cut. And that also goes a long way in helping in these here inflated times. So enjoy this recipe. I look forward to hearing your feedback, maybe some substitutions and changes that you made, or just tell me how I probably said a few words wrong. Either way, I'm looking forward to the engagement. So until then, I'll see you back here. Peace.